Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Voice Breakdown, the show where we teach you how to imitate some of the most iconic voices. We are continuing along our Simpsons series today. Voice Breakdown. Today's episode is a 2-for-1. We are learning both Patty and Selma Bouvier. Okay, so they are identical twins who have the exact same voice, both played by Julie Kavner, but I think it still counts as two voices, right? Right?
Definitely not.
Oh! Oh well. Let's break these voices down. Component number 1, the vocal cords. The most important component of all for Patty and Selma are the vocal cords. But just which vocal cords am I talking about? As you might recall from past videos, we not only have the true vocal cords, but also the false vocal cords. Patty and Selma are known for their distinctively gravelly voices. We can achieve that gravel by using the false vocal cords. To find the false vocal cords, try gently clearing your throat. Alternatively, imagine you are grunting. This will cause you to access the false vocal cords. When speaking as Patty and Selma, we need to activate these. Sometimes they speak with only the false vocal cords, and the true cords do not vibrate at all. Other times, you can hear both the false and true vocal cords vibrating. If choosing to also vibrate the true folds, keep this pitch low. I think our voices sound beautiful, personally. Component number 2, the larynx. The larynx is not a significant component for Patty and Selma's voices. We want to keep it in a neutral position. You might find that when trying to use the false vocal cords that there is some larynx movement as a result, but try to keep this neutral. Otherwise, nothing to worry about with the larynx. Ding dong, here comes the cavalry. Component number 3, the tongue. Despite their low, gravelly tone, there are still some bright overtones to Patty and Selma's voices. Component number 4 will be the primary component that affects this, but the tongue does aid in this brightness as well. A slight raise to the back of the tongue is all that is necessary, but it certainly helps give us that Patty and Selma sound. Be sure to raise the back of the tongue. Try saying the vowel E, and you will sense what it feels like to raise the back of the tongue. Who or what are you? Component number 4, the soft palate. The soft palate is a very important component for Patty and Selma's voices. While getting the false chords to activate will get you in the ballpark for their voices, it is mastering the soft palate that will really cause the voice to sound like Patty and Selma. They have a great degree of nasal resonance to their voices. To do this, we need to lower the soft palate significantly. Let's use their laugh as an example. Without that nasal resonance, it will sound like ha ha. This is close for sure, but then when we add the nasal resonance by lowering the soft palate, voila! It sounds just like Patty and Selma. Component number 5, articulation. One thing that is interesting about The Simpsons is that despite everybody being from Springfield, people have varying dialects throughout the town. Patty and Selma have their own dialect as well. In many ways, it sounds somewhat like a New York dialect. Vowels like aw can be a bit more exaggerated. We might say dog instead of dog. Usually this type of accent or dialect is non-rhotic, however, meaning that R sounds are dropped, but Patty and Selma do actually say their R sounds. Additionally, sometimes their pronunciation of sounds can be a bit more aggressive. Feel free to hit consonant sounds a bit more forcefully than usual. What's so funny? I was just thinking about that time that Homer got his nose caught in the toaster. We'll watch the tape tonight. Component number 6, prosody. Patty and Selma seem to be perpetually in a bad mood, especially when Homer is around. Hello everyone except Homer. And they let it be known. It's a tombstone. It came with the burial plot, but that's not important. The important thing is, Homer's dead. Our inflections should be such that we sound cynical, bitter, and unpleasant the majority of the time. Of course, there will be some moments where they are a bit more upbeat, but generally you can aim for those less than joyful emotions. This is especially the case when talking about Homer, who they really do not like.
Homer's in the hospital. They think it's his heart.
Oh my God. What? 5 cents off wax paper. Let's recap. Component number 1, the vocal cords. We want to primarily use the false vocal cords. If we do use the true vocal cords as well, the pitch should be low. Component number 2, the larynx. We want to keep the larynx in a neutral position. Component number 3, the tongue. The tongue can be raised very slightly in the back to aid with brightness. Component number 4, the soft palate. The soft palate should be significantly lowered to give us some good nasal resonance. Component number 5, articulation. We want to use a slight New York dialect, despite them being from Springfield, overemphasizing the aw vowel and using strong consonants. Component number 6, prosody. Use inflections that make you sound cynical, bitter, and unpleasant. Thank you for watching New York Speech Coaching's Voice Breakdown, episode 44. Be sure to check out future episodes of Voice Breakdown, the show where we teach you how to imitate some of the most iconic voices. Or don't. We don't care. You see in that ugly meatball.